Hello and welcome. I'm Wolfgang Riebe, and this week I'm going to be speaking to you about the F word. You know the F word, the one that we use every day. Some of us don't quite understand the meaning of it and the damage we can do with it. You see, if you use the F word and you don't really understand the depth of this, it can result in frustration, in anger, in stress. In fact, it's resulted in world wars all around over the years, throughout history. What is the F word that I'm speaking about? There is only one that I know of, and that is forgiveness. Do you understand what the true meaning is of the word forgiveness? Because when you do, only then can you use it properly and do something in order to forgive those around you and better your own life. I want to share with you 5 simple tips around forgiveness. The first one is you have to consciously decide that you are going to forgive. This is incredibly important. You cannot forgive without actually deciding to do so. Remember, before I even carry on with the other tips, you cannot change the past. There's another F word that goes in conjunction with forgiveness, which is forgetting. I'm not saying you need to forget the past. You need to learn from it. None of us will ever forget the past, but we have to move on. And how do you do this? Is you consciously decide that you are going to forgive. Once you've consciously made that decision, only then do you have the power to take the next step. So step 1 in forgiveness is you have to consciously sit down, think about it, whether you want to pray about it, meditate about it, or just think about it in general for a few days, and then come up with the decision that I am going to forgive. You have to consciously do this. That's the first tip. The second tip, to help you along with the first tip, is to understand that it's actually good for you if you forgive. Think about it. If you're constantly living in the past, constantly holding bitter feelings or aggression towards something or somebody, you're constantly walking around the whole time. You're just being aggressive the whole time. Who are you damaging? Not really the other person, especially if they don't even know that you've got anger towards them. It's only yourself. So it's good for you to let this go, because then you are going to be healthier. That's kind of logic. Point number 3 is that you need to understand that whether you've done it consciously or even unconsciously, we've all heard someone else out there before. So wouldn't you like that person to forgive you? Think about that. You need to realize that we're all human beings, that any of us can make mistakes, and on top of that, any of us can also change in the future. If someone's done something bad to you, are they still going to be that same person in 5 years' time? Maybe life has thrown them a few lessons where they've had to find the straight and narrow path and have actually changed their perceptions of life and have become better people. Do you think the same way you did 5 years ago? It's all good and well to judge and be judgmental, but put yourself in that position. There's that little saying that goes, put yourself in someone else's shoes and walk 5 miles every day in their shoes. And then in 10 days, you'll be 50 miles away and you'll have their shoes. As funny as that is, there's a lot of truth in it. So just realize we can all make mistakes. Give the other person the benefit of the doubt. And point number 4 is put your emotions down on paper. The more you think about it, the more you confuse yourself and you kind of forget what you thought about and what you're going to think about, and it's just a mishmash of thoughts. So why not logically put your emotions and thoughts on a piece of paper, in fact in a form of a letter, where you are saying that you forgive that person, or where you are even saying that you are asking for forgiveness. Just by putting it down in writing in a logical way, you're getting all these confusing, hatred, irritating, aggressive, all these bad thoughts down in a logical way, and you're getting it out. And when it's down there in a logical way, you don't have to give your thoughts or the letter to that person. You're just writing it down. In other words, you're clearing your mind. It's really important for you to do that, because that takes you to the next level. Which comes to point number 5, and that's the biggie, and that is you have to live in the present. More and more people are talking about living in the now. What is this? Is this some new age gobbledygook, or what is it about? Not at all. It's the most powerful concept out. You have to live in the now. Even if I say it's the most powerful, it's the most logical actually, and people don't get it. You see, nothing has ever happened in the past, and nothing has ever happened in the future. That's kind of a weird statement, because right now you're listening to me. Anything that's happening in your life is happening now. It's not happening in the past or the future, it's happening now. And this is how you lead your life on a daily basis. Day to day, things are happening now. They're not happening yesterday or tomorrow. So we've got to learn to live in the now. You can't change the past. You can plan for the future, but you don't really know what's coming. So if you learn to live in the now and treat everybody equally, and live in the present and be excited in every moment, as well as every person you meet, you start living life on a different level. Often I've bumped into people where, yes, we're all human beings, where you have maybe an argument or you have a conflict and you are. But when you're the better person, when you're the one, whether it's your fault or not is irrelevant here, but if you're the first person that goes, heck, I'm sorry, let's start again. I've done that a few times, and it's amazing the good friendships I've actually in the long run created because of that. Let go of egos. Forgiveness is also one of those things that doesn't like egos. If you can just step out of your ego and just let go completely and live in the moment and be the first one to forgive, it's amazing what a change it can bring about in your life. So in summary, what I need you to do is to decide consciously that you want to forgive. Realize that it's good for your health, and understand that you could have also done this to somebody, whether consciously or unconsciously. Get rid of all those negative emotions and thoughts by writing them down, and learn to live in the moment. Those were my tips on the F word. I hope you enjoyed them. I'll see you around again next week. From me, Wolfgang Riebe. Bye.